Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Bataleon Blaster Asym binding. I rode this binding at Copper Mountain on a day that was a mix of blue and gray skies, average temps, chopped chunder, perfect corduroy, and a little leftover hot pow for good measure, and I rode them on my Ride Shadowband snowboard with my K2 Thraxis boots. So with this binding, you have 2 screws in the heel and 1 under the toe pad that you can loosen up to slide out the heel cup or push it in depending on the size of your boot. Then right on top of that, you have the foot pad, which has 3 placements. With the toe straps, you have flip tabs that you pop open, slide up, slide down to lock this binding into place and center it over your boot. Same thing with the toe strap. The toe strap is also on a pin system, so you push it down, slide it back, slide it forward, pull it up, and lock it in. You have the ability to rotate your high back if that is your thing. And finally, you have the little pop tab for the forward lean adjustment. With the heel straps, they're also on Bataleon's kinked ladders. So what you can do is actually take the left off and put it on the right and put the right on the left. And basically you can either have them in the upward position so that it's a little more precise and more power, or you can flip it and it's in the downward position, and that's going to be a little more surfy and a little more playful. I ran these in the upward position. With the straps, they are injection molded, so that means you have no excess padding in there. That all comes from the boot. With the heel strap, it's thinner than the one that is on the Astro, so it really contours and stretches around the heel instep of your boot, so you can really just feel it going in there. It's not the stiffest strap. It has a little bit more play. You're going to notice laterally it does. With the toe strap, it's almost a rectangle, and it's got their aux tech. This will fit over a multitude of boot shapes, whether it's boxy, snub nose, or pointy. It's going to grip and stay locked in. Overall, I think this toe strap is absolutely amazing for how well it grips. Bataleon's ratchets are dialed. They climb well. There is a big handle to get a lot of torque on these, so it's really easy to lock yourself down. And then the 1-finger quick release works exactly how you want it to. You don't have to worry about it. These stay locked in, they never slip. They do everything you'd want. They're dialed. All right, why don't you click like, why don't you subscribe, and why don't you click the bell? That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. It's not the stiffest high back out there. You're gonna notice on the outside that there's a ton of play to it, but as you get lower down in there, you can actually drive into it. It does have a lot of twist, which helps with the tweakability. They work, they grip well. The forward lean adjustment is easy to use on the fly. It's not something you have to worry about if you want an extra click or two because you're ripping pipe or something. The overall flex of this binding is middle of the road. I did run the heel straps in the upper position, which gives you a little more precision and power. That's just how I like it. I don't want a looser feel in there. I want to know that I'm locked in and I can really drive into this. You notice the toe to heel response is fine, but you get more lateral play, especially with that Asym wrap, so you can get your weight out over the ratchets and out over the nose or tail of the board for buttering around. It's not the stiffest binding, but it will get the job done if you absolutely have to charge or you want to be laid back. So the binding ride of this is absolutely super damp. It kills chatter. Between that base foam and then the foot pad, you're not feeling anything. You want to just cut through a rutted out terrain area or just chop and ice. Go for it. You can charge with this. You're not going to feel that foot fatigue underneath. You're not going to feel those vibrations that do fatigue you through the day. It's just a good damp ride. Rider in mind. So who's this binding for? This is for the guy that's going to be an all mountain freestyle rider that wants a ton of adjustability. I mean, there is a ton of adjustability in this. Like what we're doing over here and want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. This is a solid binding with a lot of adjustability. There is some overlap between the Chaos and the Astro Asym, more so with the Astro Asym, but if the Astro Asym is a little more rigid, this is a little bit more playful, and then the Chaos is even more playful underneath it. Overall, solid binding, very damp ride. You don't feel a lot of the chatter. The only thing I'm not a fan of is those kinked ladders. I can't get the position exactly where I want it. It's either I've got to go up high, which is a little higher than I want, or I've got to go down low, which is a little more loose than I want. That's why I ride Rome bindings. The pivot mount fixes that. But for the rest of you guys that maybe don't need pivot mount, that's not going to be a problem. Overall, like I said, it's a good binding with a ton of adjustability. Comparable bindings: the Rome Katana, the bent metal transfer, the Union Force. This has been my review of the Bataleon Blaster Asym. Looking for something else to watch? Why don't you go check out one of the videos for one of the comparable boards? You know you want to. Follow it up. Maybe you should go look at the Force.